a show it was today.
Well, we covered all the fruits of the pie. We looked at the early Batman, Adam West and Burt, what was his name?
Ward.
Burt Ward.
Burt Ward.
Who played Robin. Batman and Robin. You'd come home from school, you'd watch the campus show of all Batman and Robin. In real life, they were giant pants men. How they got out of those outfits in time, I have no idea. We're discussing all of that.
Also, James Earl Jones. We had him on the show many years ago. He's passed away at the age of 93. We'll revisit our chat with James.
A voice like velvet. We talked to Ravina Shamdasani. She is a UN spokesperson, and she's talking to us about the recent changes that the Taliban are bringing in Afghanistan. They're taking more and more away from the women there. They're not allowed to have their voices, literally, their voices heard outside their homes. It's outrageous.
On the other side of the coin, Elle Macpherson talking about her new memoir, Elle.
So many fruits of that pie.
Enjoy the podcast.
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller.
Amanda. Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it, your face?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
But you're an idiot.
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Well, good morning to you, Amanda.
What's in the box?
I got you a little gift.
Ooh.
There you go. That's from a friend of mine.
Can I open it now?
Yes, she said, I want you to give this to Amanda. I haven't opened it.
Oh, this is from a woman called Marty Hutchinson.
She's a little designer.
And she's made a brooch to support ray gun.
Yeah.
Look at how cute's that? It's like a little resin brooch that's a picture of a ray gun.
Ah.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's discreet as well. You could wear that and no one would know that you're supporting ray gun in case they're against
Well, I'm
ray
not
gun.
wearing it just to support. I'm wearing it as a great piece of jewellery.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I love it. I love it. Marty, thank you.
See, gifts around.
Why? And what's in your box? Come
Also,
on.
look what I've got, because
I know.
the arbiter of what's right and wrong in the world, the whip poll, has deemed that it's okay for me to bring binoculars into work. So I have these binoculars that my father left me.
My dad had a pair in that same box.
Old school binoculars.
Yeah.
And look, a ship has come into the harbour, Amanda. See? And now
And now
I can look.
Sherry and Jeffrey in that block of
Now
flats
I
in
can
front of
look.
us.
Oh, that is perfect. Look at that. Ryan, stop it.
When I went to Africa with Chris Brown recently,
That
he was
is
flummoxed.
amazing.
He said to me, "You're the only person I've ever met who can't use binoculars."
Look at that. I'm looking at the harbour bridge right now. And there you go. Look at that white. I can see it. White Toyota Hilux. Look at that. That is amazing clarity.
Okay.
And now I can see everything that's going on.
You know, I
in
also
our
have a set
face.
against binoculars. Remember that time Harley was he worked for the Money Show, and it was our wedding anniversary, and we weren't going to do presents. And he came home. Came home with an enormous box that had a big bow on the top. I said, we weren't going to do presents. He said, well, because of where he was working, they'd been filming at Peters of Kensington.
Right.
What a great shot. I opened the box, it was a set of binoculars.
Yeah.
And he said, I bought them, but they gave me free gift wrapping. So that's why I'm not a binoculars
Where
fan.
are those binoculars now?
Where are the binoculars?
Can you bring them in?
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Clark Island. Or is that Shark Island? That's Clark.
Is this how it's going to be now?
What? What's
Boring?
gonna be? Well, nothing's going to be boring. Look, there's Blues Point Tower.
I'm just going to sit here because,
Well, there's-
yes, we had a whip poll yesterday. Predominantly men called up and said, let Jonesy do it. So I'm just going to sit back, let him be on the binoculars.
Look at, there's Fitzy and Whipper and Kate over there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys. Over there. Ah. Ooh. Oh, hang on.
I'm sitting out.
Ryan, stop that.
I've been told everyone wants Jonesy to get the binoculars.
Would you know, these binoculars, here, have a go.
No.
Have a little go.
You didn't listen to a word I said
Just have a
earlier.
go.
Chris Brown says I'm the only person in the world who can't use binoculars. And it's true.
Why can't you use them?
I don't know. I just can't use them.
Well, you use the little eyepieces.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think, no. I think I'm going to throw up.
Why are you
get
going to
dizzy.
throw up? You're moving around too quick.
I get dizzy.
How would you ever go on McHale's Navy?
Chris and I had to do something with an animal that was running alongside. And he said, when this happens, use the binoculars to see where this happened. I don't want to say what it was because it was in a thing for a TV show. And I thought I was going to throw up. I can't use binoculars.
You've got to move slowly because it magnifies
Well, how
it.
about I tell the animal to do that?
No, you have to move. The movements that you do. Never. Why must
You're a creep.
They're only for research purposes, for surveilling purposes, okay? Nothing weird going on there.
Pull your curtains if you live near here.
Action-packed show today. Look busy. Elle Macpherson's going to be
We've
joining
got Elle
us.
Macpherson on the
Are
show
there any
today.
questions?
Oh, well, all right. Well, let's start with the Magnificent Seven,
Yes.
shall we? Question number 1. What city am I? I'm the second largest city in Ireland. I share my name with a material used to plug bottles such as wine and gin.
Give us a call. Play the Magnificent Seven. Heading for a top of 22 degrees today. Beautiful looking day yet again. Right now it's 13. It's 6:09. Are you done with my binoculars now? I just want to make sure that everything's okay.
Yeah. Close your curtains.
While I rock out to Akadaka, WSFM. Jam Nation. Incredible clarity, these binoculars. Incredible clarity for how old they are. My father would have bought these back in the 70s.
I know you want me to stop you from looking, but I'm not going to.
I don't want
No,
you.
you're responsible for your own behaviour.
So
and
there's a mud runner going over the bridge, right past the train. Look at that! Is just amazing. So I
Ryan
can
also
report
was
on-
looking out. So this is the two of you have lost your brains.
Ryan, what did you think?
Changes everything. It's great.
Yeah, there you go.
I saw
Ryan's
an
on-
emergency vehicle on the Harbour Bridge.
Yeah, but we saw that from here as well because they had the sirens flashing. Look, there goes the little ferry.
Should we do our show, Brendan?
There goes the Manly Ferry cutting its way to Circular Quay.
Maybe we need to do another whip poll should Jonesy have those in the studio during the show.
Do you want a pair of binoculars as well so
No.
you're part of the gang?
No, I told you
The
I-
Pinnacle gang.
Not interested.
We've got the Magnificent Seven for you. 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say...
Put them back in the packet, please.
But it's about getting question 7 right. Maybe I should go to the other side of the building so I can eyeball Coleroy and see James there.
Hello, James.
Hey, Amanda. G'day, Jonesy.
Would that make your morning knowing you're being perved at by Brendan Jones?
Yeah, well, Jonesy, I inherited a pair of binoculars from my grandfather, and I've been known to do a bit of perving as well, so that's okay.
James, I'm not you. Don't lump me in with your weirdo clan.
Hashtag all men.
I have not used these irresponsibly.
We've only had them for 4 minutes.
James, I don't know what you're talking about. I think we should just get to the question.
All right, James. Question number 1. I'm the second largest city in Ireland. I share my name with a material used to plug bottles like wine and gin.
Yeah, it's Cork.
It's Cork, the city of Cork.
Which flag has more stars, the US flag or the Brazilian flag? The Brazilian's got a lot of stars.
Ooh. I'm going to say the American flag.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 50 on the US flag, 27 on the Brazilian flag. Let's play Sing It Back, James.
Sing it for me. Sing it back.
Just sing it to me.
Sing it back to me.
I don't know what the song is, I haven't heard it yet, but when they finish singing, it's over to you. Here we
it
go.
is. The new Rads.
Don't let go. You got the music in you.
Nice.
For a perv, you're a good singer.
Said the same to Gary Glitter.
In 2021, an Italian artist sold an invisible sculpture for $18,000. What was the name of the work? Was it A, I was, B, I am, C, I will be?
Ooh, B.
Yeah.
It was B, I am. An invisible sculpture.
Yeah, the artist Salvatore Garnu said of his sculpture, it is a work that asks you to activate the power of the imagination.
Yeah, and the power of your MasterCard as well while you're at it. Okay, question 5. You're doing so well, James. Here we go. Can you spell the word marshmallow?
Marshmallow. Mallow.
Well
Whoa,
done,
James. That
James.
Was you could be all the way, James.
You know what my mother once said, that can I ask you, did you go to a Catholic school?
Yeah.
Yeah, because H is what
James,
Catholics,
it's okay.
people who went to a Catholic, yeah, it's all right. I'm not
all
going
right,
to have you arrested for the perving and now this.
Relax, James. It's not nothing you say will be held against you
just the
in a court of law, James.
The H. I like it.
Which Australian model is known as the Body?
That's Elle Macpherson.
Yeah, she's on the show today.
She's on the show today. I'll see if she mentions you, James. Question 7. Who has officially been announced as the world's best B-girl? Break girls.
Reagan?
Yeah.
It's Reagan. She officially, the world, see this,
Is she
leave
really?
her alone.
In the whole world, she's the
World
best.
Dance Sport Federation's latest rankings have her at number 1.
But hang
So
on.
leave her alone.
But she didn't win any medals at the Olympics. Wasn't the best there. You do see the folly in all of this.
I am not, see, that's the thing. We all pretend to be experts on this sport and that. I don't know.
I have no truck with Ray Gun, by the way. I think she's fantastic. But she was just in a competition where people got
She
medals.
scored 0
and
points.
she's got, so how is she the best in the world?
Brendan, you'll have to get your binoculars out and look to the Federation.
I don't think the binoculars can solve this one. James, congratulations. You won the Jam Pack. It's all coming away. A double pass to John Stevens, Night at the Barracks, live concerts in Manly this spring, an Aqua Splash party for 10 at Cable's Wake Park and Aqua Park Penrith. The most fun you can have in and out of the water. You're not going to do. I'm going to go to the west side of the building and I'm going to have a gander at Penrith during Natasha's news. And Jonesy tomato carriage, she chooses for you to colour and some Staedtler pencils. Anything you'd like to add here, James?
No, thank you very much. I'm sorry to all the other people in the line who didn't get a go.
But
That's
James,
all right, James.
because that's happened.
Yeah, you're all the way, James.
That means, you also get carton of your favourite beer.
What are you drinking, mate?
Oh, 4 pints, absolutely.
All right, you're in.
Hipster beer.
Yeah, Jones, you have to accept the hipster beer. And Brendan, that means you have to do a big fact.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. James is okay with that. I might do one about binoculars.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation.
Podcast. Jonesy and Amanda in the morning. 101.7 WSFM.
I had to say, Brendan, we're on the radio. It's time to talk. You ran back from the window like a giddy kid and your headphones are upside down.
It's just so cool. Hey, I'm looking at the Anzac Bridge. The traffic's running smoothly on the Anzac Bridge. And look, over there, Iron Cove Bridge is going great. Look at the Harvey Bridge. It's going great. And now there's a plane coming in.
I don't think I can stand
This
this.
is where
This is
have
how
I
you're
been
going
all
to
my
be.
life?
Why don't you do CB radio and just talk? Like, you used to mock early radio and say, here come the planes, the Singapore Airlines. This is what you've become. This is what you have become.
Excuse me, it's not Singapore Airlines. It's Fiji Air. It was just coming in there. And welcome to our fair country. In the meantime, fight for your flashback. No, hang on, not fight for your flashback.
Is this how it's going to be?
James went all the way in the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, so you've got to have
so
a
I've
big
been
fact.
scurrying to find
you
a big
have
fact.
not. I found one for you.
Thank you, Mum. We'll do that next.
Jam Nation.
James went all the way in the Magnificent Seven. That means there can be only one thing that will fill the void.
Hey, it's a big fact, and it's not crazy. Jonesy got some info, cause he's not lazy. I need my fix of facts on repeat. Jonesy did his research. It's a big fact, baby.
He did, you know.
It sounds like you're saying he's a big fat baby, doesn't it?
Your earlobes are the same distance apart as your nipples.
That takes a minute to sink in, doesn't it?
So your
Earlobes,
yep,
same distance apart.
as your nipples. So if I put my head on your chest,
No, it doesn't work like that. Your earlobes match your nipples.
right? So I can't put my head on your chest.
No. Tell you what, Bert Newton's would have been under his arms.
Hey, it's a big fact, and it's not crazy. Jonesy got some info. It's a big fact, baby.
I'll put the binoculars away.
Can you?
It jazzes
I know.
you so much.
Well, no, you're so distracted and you're just looking at it going, wow, there's a car. I know. And I don't want to be the person that says, oh, Jonesy, let's not do that.
Hang on, isn't that what you had to do when you came along here to work for me? You were the old Jonesy girl.
Yeah.
And you pulled the prizes out of the barrel, dressed in a leotard. What happened to that?
What happened to that, Brendan?
Natasha
I entered the Radio Hall of Fame is what happened to that, Brendan.
Oh, you have to rub it in.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm glad we're not the only ones up at this ungodly hour.
Today is a big day. On this day in 1991, as I flick through the Jalmanac, Nirvana released their hit Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh.
I remember where I was when I heard that for the first time, and I thought, this is the
Were
greatest.
you using binoculars?
No, I wasn't using binoculars. The binoculars have been packed away because there's nothing I need to see right now.
Good.
Until as such time as I need to see something, then I will use the binoculars.
I'm starting a chart as to how often you use the binoculars.
I use
And I'll dock your pay each time.
What are you going to dock my pay? Okay. Anyway, in 1991, I remember clearly hearing Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit for the first time. It was on MTV. I was watching the TV. I was in Muswellbrook. No, I wasn't in Muswellbrook. I was in Western Australia.
That's how clearly you remember it.
Kurt Cobain famously wrote this song to mock mainstream media. I was trying to write the ultimate pop song, said Kurt. I was basically trying to rip off the Pixies. You remember the Pixies?
Oh, vaguely.
But given he wrote the song in a minor key, it has more of a punk vibe and less of a pop one. However, if you swap that minor to a major, we get a pop song Kurt himself would have been scared of. Have a listen. So it's more pop.
A bit more Hanson-esque.
Yeah.
His voice was never going to be pop, though. It's too much grunt.
He's not pop. He's grunge, man. Let's get it on. Happy birthday.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Let's harken back to the 60s, Brendan.
Okay.
When you used to come home from school in 1932 and you'd watch Batman. Remember the Batman, the kitschy Batman that was on television?
In the afternoon?
In the afternoons. Adam West, Burt Ward, Batman and Robin.
The game's up, Riddler. As a duly deputized agent of the law, I place you under arrest for armed robbery.
You've got me, Batman.
For some reason, I was recently watching the Batman and the Joker in a surf-off.
Yeah. It was campy. It was kitschy.
But why?
It was stuff that was watched by kids all around the world. Well, interestingly, people often ask if Adam West and Burt Ward were friends in real life. You know, Robin and Batman.
Yep.
Yes, they were. They were friends. They had lots of things in common. Have a listen to this TikTok I heard yesterday.
Adam West and Burt Ward became famous in the 60s for their portrayal of Batman and Robin. They were also equally infamous in Hollywood for their off-screen debauchery. This included Adam West sleeping with up to 8 women a day. 2 of those women were Natalie Wood and Raquel Welch. One time, Adam West slept with so many women in the city of Aspen, Colorado, that the city banned him from returning for another 15 years. Adam West was having sex between scenes, on lunch breaks, pretty much every chance he got. It was not uncommon for there to be an actual line of women waiting outside of Adam West's dressing room, sometimes starting as early as 7 in the morning. One of the most insane stories involving Adam West's escapades involved Adam West and the actor Frank Gorshin, who played the Riddler on the Batman series, attending an orgy together. They were both kicked out of said orgy because both of them kept pretending to be in character the entire time.
It probably went a bit like this.
What the?
It's too delicious.
Out. Riddled.
I thought you might be Batman. That's why I brought witnesses with cameras.
Holy disappearing underpants, Batman.
Off.
Boff indeed.
Jam
Nation.
Imagine not being able to speak in public, not being able to read or leave the house on your own. For women in Afghanistan, that's a reality under the new Taliban rule. To help us understand this situation better, we're joined by Ravina Shamdasani, a UN spokeswoman who has become a voice for the voiceless when it comes to the appalling state of women's rights in Afghanistan. Ravina, hello.
Hi, thanks for covering this important story.
Look, I've heard the stories along the years since the Taliban took over, but why has this ratcheted up? What's going on now?
Well, it's just going from bad to worse. If you're trying to make sense of it, there is no sense. Afghanistan is a place where 23 million people will require humanitarian assistance, and yet half of the population is being completely disempowered, not allowed to educate themselves. Even those who have been very well educated are not allowed to work and contribute to the economy. This new law is being presented as in line with Islamic values, but, Islamic scholars themselves are, to put it mildly, dubious about these claims. It really seems to be an entrenchment of power by the most radical of the Taliban.
And when Joe Biden got out of Afghanistan and left it to the Taliban said, oh, no, we're the new Taliban. We're going to be a moderate Taliban. This is definitely not the case.
It's definitely not the case. Promises were made by them to, promote a more moderate kind of governance in line with Islamic values, but yet moderate. And we're seeing the exact opposite. First, it was secondary school education, university education. Then it was the right to work. And now we're seeing even just the right for women to speak in public being targeted. And of course, men are not being spared either. There are, many very repressive laws that impact on men as well. You have children who are being impacted, male and female. Female-headed households, for example, you can think about how women who are meant to support the elderly in their family, their extended families, their children, are no longer able to do that. So it's really having a huge impact on the entire economy and social structure in Afghanistan.
So what exactly are these new rules? Women can't speak in public, but what are the ones that are stopping women helping their elderly parents, etc.?
Well, women are not allowed to work either. Even women who actually work for the United Nations were not allowed to come to the office. So they're not allowed to be productive members of society and earn a living. And then you've got women who, were in political office, for example. Women are not allowed to hold political office anymore. And now you have women who... Previously as well, there were rules imposing the wearing of the full burqa, meaning the face being covered as well. And this has now been enshrined in law by the de facto authorities. So the full burqa, cover from head to toe, including faces. There's a ban for transport providers on transporting women unless they're accompanied by a male relative. Think about when you need to rush a family member to the hospital. How are you going to do that if you don't have a male relative who can accompany you? And literally the prohibition of women's voices being heard in public at all.
Oh, it's so hard for us to understand that. How are women in Afghanistan dealing with these new laws? How do they find a place for the anger?
You can only imagine, can't you? I mean, I was there. I haven't been there in the past 2 years, but I was there right after the Taliban took over. And we met some of these women. And these are women who are mayors, who are doctors, who were, community activists. It shouldn't surprise you to hear that these were super articulate, super intelligent women who were there with solutions. They had very close contact with the people in their own communities, as, women tend to in many parts of the world. And they had solutions to offer. And again, this is a society which is broken. You have an economy which is not functioning, high level of humanitarian aid needed. And these women have been silenced now. They're not allowed to have a seat at the table. And I remember we asked them at the time, well, we're going to be meeting Taliban leaders. What do you want us to convey to them? And they said, we don't need your voices. We want our own voices to be heard. The only thing we want you to ask them is to give us a seat at the table so that we can join in trying to solve these problems.
And you wouldn't be able to go back there, would you?
I mean, the UN is present on the ground, but we have to work very carefully. We are engaging with the Taliban, actually, because, isolation, when you have no option, isolation is really not the best solution. You have to try to engage and try to influence even the little bit that you can.
Wow.
This society about 40, 50 years ago was progressive. I've seen footage of the women at university wearing regular clothes, miniskirts even. Should we all, looking at America's proposed reproductive laws under some of the Republicans, should this be a lesson that you can never assume that things are carved in stone?
You can never assume things are carved in stone, especially when it comes to women's rights. We've progressed so much, and it's amazing to look back a couple of decades and see how much women have been able to, it's taken for granted in most parts of the world that women will work. Women go to universities. Many universities have more female students than they have male students. But if you look at the gender gap, it's very much still there. When I go to the UN for the General Assembly and I hear all the heads of state speaking, the vast majority of them are still men. Why is that? And then you look at places in the Western world as well, including the United States, including Europe, and you see the pushback on gender equality. You see sexual and reproductive rights that we were taking for granted being slowly taken away under the guise of family values movements, which of course have nothing to do with family values, but they're really about power play of the men who remain in power.
No. Well, Ravina, it's fascinating to talk to you. Ravina Shamdasani, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for covering the story.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Moving into the gram right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Going fast.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
I am your father. You have 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You could pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. You get all the questions right, $1,000.
And you can go with $1,000. How useful would it be? But do you want to turn it into $2,000?
$1,000 is very useful.
Well, $2,000 is even more useful. It's a bonus question that'll get you $2,000, but it's double or nothing.
Lisa is in Revesby.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see what we can do. We always say the same thing. If you're not sure, say pass, because we often have time to come back, all right?
All right.
Lisa, we've got 10 questions.
Right.
We've got 60 seconds. Are you ready to start?
Oh, I think I am ready.
Good. Deep breath, because here we go. Question number 1. What's the opposite of up?
Down.
Question 2. Free range and caged are types of what?
Eggs.
Question 3. Which fictional character is famously from Kazakhstan?
Pass.
Question 4. Travis Kelce plays for which NFL team?
Pass.
True or false? Question 5. Broccoli is a fruit.
False.
Question 6. Aerogard is known for making what product?
Mosquito repellent.
Question 7. Who played Julie Rafter in Pack to the Rafters?
Pass.
Question 8. Stand-up refers to what form of entertainment?
Comedy.
Question 9. Which Australian musician will headline the NRL Grand Final?
Kid Leroy.
Question 10. The Terracotta Warriors were found in which country?
Pass.
Okay, back to question 3. Which fictional character is famously from Kazakhstan?
I don't know.
I could tell at the time you're going, how the hell would I know that? The answer was Borat.
Very nice.
He's Mankini.
Yes. Yes.
Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, plays
from the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. Who played Julie Rafter in Pack to the Rafters?
I see her. Rebecca Gibson.
Yeah,
Amanda's BFF.
It's all coming back now.
Yeah, she was inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Logies. And the Terracotta Warriors were found in
China.
If you've got into breathing space, it helps. Yeah.
I just got nervous and blanked.
That
what happens, Lisa.
You got $100 for
Blanked
playing,
out.
and thank you.
If I was on the radio, I would do the same thing. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Jam Nation.
And there's a viral video that has been released of Iron Maiden's Australian show titled "And the Crowd Goes Mild."
Yeah, they're performing in Perth. They won't be too happy to read the reviews that are in the paper and online. Iron Maiden has, they've released 41 albums. So when it comes to deciding what you're going to play in a concert, you think, what ones will we leave out? Not the 2 biggest hits you've ever had.
Well, I would say this about Iron Maiden. They are an enthusiast band. They are a full metal enthusiast band. You have to live and breathe Maiden.
But if you're going to see an Iron Maiden show, I reckon there's 2 songs in particular you would be hanging out for.
Yeah, the hits. You want Run to the Hills and you want The Number of the Beast and maybe you want The Trooper as well. Unfortunately, they didn't play any of those.
They didn't play any of those. Can you believe it?
They played, the closest they got to a hit was Stranger in a Strange Land, which came out in 1986, which is, but if I had 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby, I'd want to hear the hits.
I reckon by the time they get to Sydney, which I think is at the end of the week, they'll be playing
just
those.
A little memo
They'll be
to the
putting
boys.
those hits back in.
They chose to play a bunch of new stuff. And to quote Words from Purple Rain. No one's digging your music but you.
So which ones they didn't play?
You want Run to the Hills.
You want Run to the Hills? I think it's the only one I've ever heard of.
Oh,
What's the
okay,
other?
what about Number of the Beast? I would go, okay, jeez, that went quick. I was just in the zone.
The beast is gone.
What's happened?
But there's people have taken to for TikTok, for example, saying my father is so disappointed. The only reason he went to the show was those big hits. He's gone. He's so disappointed. Someone said the energy from that crowd would be enough to power a 7-watt globe.
Because it's a full house.
Yeah, it's a full house.
And there's a lot of pressure.
Don't be put off, because I reckon by the time they get here, they're going to be playing in other places. That was Perth. They're also going to be performing, I think, in Adelaide, and they're going to then Brisbane, and then Sydney. I reckon they'll put the hits back in for those shows.
Of course. It's terrible though when you go and see an act and they don't play what you want them to play.
Or when they play stuff. They play all their
From
stuff.
the new album.
Look, for example, when we went to see Kiss, 2 great songs at the beginning, 2 great songs at the end, and then all the stuff in the middle.
I've been burnt many
went
times.
to the bar.
Many times by Kiss, and I know. And I think it's because Paul's voice just can't get the register anymore. Although I do find it odd that they always play Lick It Up, which was a song at the end of their career in the 80s, which was dreadful, but they seem to play it. And that stretches his vocal range. Then he can't sing Sure Knows Something, which I think is a fantastic Kiss song.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't play that. If I had a meeting with the boys, I'd say, boys, less War Machine and Lick It Up, more Sure Knows Something.
Wasn't there also people who went to see Neil Diamond perform and he didn't sing Crunchy Granola
I couldn't
Sweet?
believe that.
Oh, it was you.
That was me, people. That was me.
You were that people.
I convinced Omo, my mate, to go and see Neil Diamond. I'm not going to see bloody poofy Neil Diamond. I don't want to. And then I started going, I'm doing Crunchy Granola Sleep. And he said, oh, yeah, I suppose it's not bad. So we went there and he didn't do it. Because we had Neil Diamond on the show, and I said, sometimes when you do Crunchy Granola Sweet, you don't do the good Lord in there. What's with that? And I think he took umbrage, so he just took it from the whole...
Oh, it was your fault.
The whole set.
That's it.
I couldn't
I'm not
believe
singing it.
Like, I could listen to Neil Diamond
I love
all day.
Neil Diamond. I could and I do listen to Neil Diamond.
Cracklin' Rosie, that's a great song.
Rosie.
Cracklin' Rosie.
Rosé, by the sound of your voice.
Rosie. I love that song.
I love Neil Diamond, but I...
Having a time with a poor man's leader.
But I reckon if you went to see him, you'd expect to hear Crunchy Granola Sweet.
You would expect that.
Well, let's do this. The tribal drum is beating for, I can't believe they didn't play ... Here's one you won't know.
Jam Nation. Iron Maiden have caused a bit of controversy. A viral video has gone off of their Australian show in Perth titled And the Crowd Goes Mild.
Well, they didn't play their 2 big hits.
Yeah. Well, no, they had more than 2 big hits. And if you're a Maiden fan, with all due respect...
But even if you are a Maiden fan, you're expecting to hear their 2 biggest hits.
If you're a full-on Maiden enthusiast, you know those dudes that wear the denim cut-off jackets with the patch on the back? They're full-on Maiden
But they would
lovers.
still expect to hear Run to the Hills.
You would love to hear Run to the Hills all day. I could listen to that all day.
They didn't play it.
Nor Number of the Beast.
Nor.
Tribal
drum is beating for, I can't believe they didn't play ...
Cass has joined us.
Hello, Cass.
Good morning.
Who did you see?
Well, I saw Grace Jones back in the 80s. I was very young. I was at school. I think it was the Capitol Theatre. And the bit I didn't hear was her live. The whole concert was recorded. And she could not lip sync. She was a little bit out of it. And the entire concert, she was just on another planet, really.
Yeah.
So she didn't sing anything live?
Nothing live. So it's a bit off key of what you're talking about, but the whole concert was, nothing live.
Because she had that hit in the 80s, Slave to the Rhythm.
I love Grace Jones. Pull Up to the Bumper, Baby, all of that.
Yeah.
But did you expect to go along to watch her mime badly? No.
No, thank you,
Thank you, Cass.
Kev has joined us.
Who'd you see, Kev?
I saw Eric Clapton in the Hunter Valley.
Yeah.
And $300 a seat, plastic seats all taped together. And Eric came out, turned his back to the audience and had a jam session with the band. Played nothing we knew. People were yelling out, play something we effing know. He just jammed with the band for the whole hour or so and then walked off.
No.
Yeah, and someday, And guitarists, I'll just say this about guitarists. If you go and see a show and there's 5 pedals in front of the guitarist, you know you're in for trouble because they'll dick around with that all night.
But as long as they play their hits in between,
you want to hear this?
Imagine the audience say, yelling out, "Play something we know."
Was that you, Kev?
I didn't do it, but people nearest were yelling that out.
And he still didn't. Wow.
Just play the hits, man.
Just
don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Hello there. Viral video from Iron Maiden's Perth show titled "The Crowd Goes Mild" has set the internet on fire. They played all filler, no killer, instead of playing "Run to the Hills." They played
an original track by Rob Mills.
They played this. Okay, guys.
Actually, Rob Mills has been doing a Bon Jovi show. He would have rocked it.
Yeah, he's not playing
should have
Bon
been up
Jovi's
there.
B-side.
He should have been there.
Instead of playing Number of the Beast,
They played a song by Elmer Feast.
they played this. You know...
I have to say, it all sounds the same to me.
But it's like AC/DC. When you go and see AC/DC play, you just want banger after banger.
It's like going to
Don't
see...
waste your time. And even Angus Young, he said this to me in person. He says sometimes you just lose it when you're in a guitar solo and you've got to bring yourself back on track.
Well, you said earlier you went to see Neil Diamond and he didn't play Crunchy Granola Sweet.
It was outrageous. And I talked to a whole gang, part of my posse, to come and see Neil Diamond on the strength of da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. That was pretty bad. You know, those guys can't rock out to Sweet Caroline.
Not like you can.
I can.
So the tribal drum is beating 4. I can't believe they didn't play ...
Lauren's joined us.
Who are you going to see, Lauren?
It's 2002, and I'm living in Singapore, and Elton John had come, and everyone was just pumped. And back then, you know, think about it's a long time. It was about $300 or $400 a ticket then. Like we paid a lot of money, and everyone was just pumped. And he came out in a tracksuit, and not even a fancy one. And there's no backup singers. There's nothing. We're thinking, what's going on? And he goes, "Oh, hey everybody, I've been at the dentist this afternoon, so I'm feeling a bit chilled, and I'm just feeling like, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to play on my B-side."
No.
And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. We all were out there going, get someone, send him drugs. You were yelling out the store. Somebody, there was nothing, no backup singers. He had a teleprompt, just came out and he just was there getting his money. He just didn't play any, no Rocket Man, no Yellow Brick Road.
No. When you see Elton, you want this.
You want it all.
You want the bangers.
A friend of mine went to see Stevie Nicks, and it wasn't Stevie Nicks performing her big hits. Her opening words were, "This isn't a greatest hits show."
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Remember, and then Mick Fleetwood said, "I've got a 20-minute drum solo."
Oh, God.
Thanks, Lauren. Leanne has joined us.
Who are you seeing, Leanne?
The Boss.
Bruce Springsteen. Doesn't he play everything? Doesn't he play for 18 hours at a go?
No, saw him up at the Hope Estate and the Hunter Valley. And what's the one song you think of when you think of The Boss?
You think Born to Run?
Born in the USA.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he didn't play it.
He did play Born in the USA. Maybe he's sick of it.
Bad luck. As you say, I pays me. What is it? I pays to see a diving act.
I want to seize me a diving act. That's what it's
I'm
about.
disappointed for you, Leanne.
Take note, artists. We don't want to hear your self-indulgent crap, okay?
Okay, play the big one.
If you hear a song on our radio station that you don't know, then something's gone wrong with the world.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation Podcast.
Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. Reproductive leave, does it pass the pub test?
Yes, the Health Services Union wants to give all Australians access to 12 leave days that are separate to their annual sick leave or annual holidays to help with reproductive health. That's a whole cavalcade of things.
It's a new kettle of fish. There was a news story last night. This poor young lady's got endometriosis, and she talked about her struggle with that.
Multiple surgeries and specialist appointments, along with debilitating pain every month, meant multiple days off work.
It's often quite a scary thing to ask a superior for time off for such an misunderstood disease.
Today, backing a new campaign by the Health Services Union to introduce reproductive health paid leave. The proposal would give employees 12 days paid leave to take time off for IVF treatments, severe period pain, menopause, vasectomies and hysterectomies, endometriosis and miscarriage.
Gee, that's a whole raft of stuff.
It is, but this is the stuff that keeps women out of the workforce. This is the stuff that makes women give up their jobs. This is the stuff that makes superannuation very hard for women to achieve. This is the stuff. And I went through IVF. I would have a general anaesthetic and come back to work the next morning.
Yeah,
and
you had no time off.
But this is also for vasectomies. You did the same. Or you did it in your holidays, I think.
I did it in my holidays, but I came to work straight away afterwards.
But we shouldn't boast about that stuff, because I'm seeing a whole lot of online opinions, people saying, tough it up, it's too woke. Just because in our day it was okay to had to put up with those things doesn't matter. That's how it should be.
I could see it being misused, though. I could see a lot of people saying,
every bit of sick leave can be misused. Every bit of annual,
but we got enough sick leave as it is, like a 12 extra days.
Yes.
Can we afford it?
Women,
it's Cosy lives at the moment.
Half the population have periods.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just limiting this to what we're talking about here. This is all kinds of reproductive health here. But half the population have periods. And people are going to have stuff that means they're going to use all their sick leave up very quickly if you have a chronic issue.
Of course, on paper it looks good, but I feel that no one's doing the work anymore.
Well, then why don't we get rid of carers leave? Why don't we get rid of all... Well, there are specific
there's a lot of
areas
leaves.
of... Yeah. Well, which leave do you want to get rid of? You don't want to ever introduce a new leave. This stuff is progressive. I've been through all this stuff.
That's why we're putting it to the pub test.
We're putting it to the pub test, but this is the stuff that doesn't affect you until it does. So how do you feel about this? Reproductive leave, does it pass the pub test?
13 WSFM is our number. We'll have that for you at 8 o'clock. James,
one more thing I just want to add. If you want people to have babies, if you want the birth rate to stabilise, you have to support women.
Yeah,
and keep them in the workforce.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about some guy, I've had a vasectomy and now I can't come into work for 12 days. Come on.
Well, then that's all his leave gone.
Jam Nation.
We're morning, James Earl Jones. Part of our life for so many years.
He was 93, so, too soon? It's not, too soon. If
I feel bad when you say, as I get older, when you say, oh, he had a good innings. You just think, well, I'd like to live to 93.
He's quite extraordinary, and his voice really is so beautiful, but it's been in some of the most iconic films we've ever grown up with.
He played Darth Vader in Star Wars, of course.
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. And now, Your Highness, we will discuss the location of your hidden rebel base.
And then in Lion King.
Oh, Mufasa, beautiful.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Oh, it's just velvet, isn't it? It's so beautiful. I got goosebumps.
Also, what about Coming to America? One of the greats.
Hey, what's up, brother? You a little late for the Christmas pageant.
I'm King Joffrey Joffer, ruler of Zamunda.
Yeah, well, have a seat. Chair number 2 be ready in a second.
I have come for my son Akeem.
Come for who?
You know, Kunta.
Oh, yeah, him. He around here someplace.
One of the great movies, Coming to America.
Huge at the top of my list, but that beautiful voice, I'll listen to it, read a phone book.
We spoke to him about Coming to America. Actually, we spoke to him about many things. He was in Australia for a stage play of Driving Miss Daisy, where he was the driver to Angela Lansbury as Miss Daisy.
They drove on the wrong side of the road. There's the tip.
It was a great play, but wasn't he a wonderful, wonderful guest?
The role of Darth Vader was played by actor David Prowse. Did they set out to use his voice but change their mind?
Well, you see, David has a particular accent, and it was, I think, more of a tenor voice than a bass voice. So they had to search around for a bass, and they thought of using Orson Welles, but thought he'd be too recognizable, so they picked this guy who was born in Mississippi and raised in Michigan, who had a stutter, and that was me.
That's pretty cool.
Well, you give hope for people like me. That means there's something could happen for me, James Earl.
Yes, well, there's hope. Every day there's hope.
Do you think there might be a chance they might be making Coming to America too? Maybe there could be a role for me in that.
You've been be my white son.
Oh, I could be your white son. See, I love the idea of this.
And my son works.
For a man who grew up with a stutter as a kid, what an incredible thing to have his voice be so defining.
And he was being very kind, I think, to David Prowse, because this is James Earl Jones as Darth Vader.
Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive.
Then this is David Prowse as Darth Vader.
Start tearing this ship apart piece by piece until you find those tapes. Find the passengers of this vessel. I want them alive.
He sounds like that guy from Life of Brian. Because
Brian.
James Earl Jones, rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Damn Nation.
Podcast.
We're not gonna take it. I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as bad as hell. I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test today. Reproductive leave, does it pass the pub test?
You may have seen this on the news last night. The Health Services Union wants to see all Australians have access to 12 extra leave days per year to look after their reproductive health, whether that's IVF, severe period pain, menopause, vasectomies, therapies, other kinds of things like this. This is separate to your annual sick leave because this stuff is recurring. This happens every month to many women. Women with endometriosis have lots of issues going on with that. If we want to keep women in the workforce, if they want to actually be able to contribute to their own superannuation so they can be looked after in their later years, we have to understand how women work and try and keep them in the workforce. It shouldn't be down to those who are lucky enough to have an understanding boss. But how do you feel? Reproductive leave, does it pass the pub test?
Yes, definitely, if it is genuine. And I believe the employees will be more productive in the workplace because they will appreciate what their company is doing for them.
My partner's just had a hysterectomy after stage 4 endometriosis. They need to have like an agreement with an employer to say, look, I'm sorry, I have this debilitating condition. They should be putting more research money into that and deal with the issue rather than just putting Band-Aids. Oh, you can have 12 days off. People get enough time off as it is.
No, it doesn't pass the pub test. There's other things that people go through that need time off and they run out of sick leave. You're only giving it to a small amount of people. Give it across the board, not just to a small minority of people.
I think it's fine for people to have a day off if they're unwell, but I don't think it's fair that it's bankrolled by small business owners. And perhaps there needs to be a new insurance or some other scheme to finance it. I personally would have to employ an extra staff member to cover that much leave.
Oh, I think it absolutely passes the pub test and Jonesy's way out of line.
A mixed bag of thoughts there.
I'm way out of line.
Well, you said...
There's a lot of sick leave. I'm just saying, in the world, there's a lot. So you put 12 days, so you get your sick leave anyway. So there's just a lot of sick leave.
I understand that.
Right now, we're on the brink of a recession. No one seems to be doing any work.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Well, this is something that I think is important to a lot of people, and it is recurring. It's not like, hey, I get sick once and that's it. Every month, some women go through terrible time.
Anyway.
Jam Nation.
She is the renowned Australian supermodel who's graced the covers of over 700 magazines around the world. She's walked the runways for top designers. Elle Macpherson has pulled back the curtain for an inside scoop into her life with a new book called, funnily enough, Elle. And she joins us now. Elle Macpherson, hi.
Hi there.
Elle, the biggest headline since you've released this book has been about your holistic approach to your cancer. Were you expecting this kind of response and this kind of backlash to that?
Well, I wasn't expecting the focus on that one chapter, as there's 18 chapters in the book. And you know, it's been really as difficult as it's been because there's been a lot of mistruths or people that haven't really read the book sort of just writing their opinion or, you know, just misinformation to some extent. I'm really pleased that it's sparking discussions because with discussion comes evolution and growth and, you know, that is a great space to be in.
Yeah, and I've read that particular chapter. Actually, I read it twice just to so it's clear in my head. And what I got out of it was that you say in it, there's no right way, just the right way for me. So that's what I took away from it.
And that's, I was very clear that I wasn't giving advice to anybody. I was sharing my experience. And when you read the chapter in context with everything else, you'll see that it's really not even about cancer. The true meaning of that chapter is how to make a decision when you're gripped with fear, when you don't know what to do, when you're in adversity, and it's not, I use the example, the context of cancer, but it's really about making a decision and how to navigate life through the ups and downs. And I think that's a point that's been missed. It's quite easy to sort of jump on the what did I do, but really the question is, how did I get to the decision I made, not what did I do.
The nickname The Body is such a hard thing to live up to, and you do it every day. Have there been mornings where you're dropping the kids at school or you want to sit at the beach and eat a packet of chips and you're going, I wish I didn't have to be the body today?
I don't even think about the body in that sense, unless I'm thinking about being well, which is a very important, kind of attitude for me and state of mind for me. It was a fantastic moniker, and I'm so grateful that Time magazine sort of coined that in 1986, because to some extent I built a career from it. And it wasn't because I believed it. I believed in the press, in the sense of the power of the press, in that sense. But I didn't wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, you're the body. Come on, go out and be the body.
If I was like that, I'd be going, hey, check this body out. I'm the body. I've never been that girl. I've always been sort of more in my personal life anyway, more sort of discreet and understated and natural. I must say that story about you, Christie Brinkley, and Whitney Houston standing around a piano singing with Billy Joel. And Whitney Houston was a model at that time. I wasn't even aware of that. Billy Joel gave you a tape of Whitney Houston and said, this girl's going to be huge. Like, it's almost like a Forrest Gump existence with the world that you've got there.
Yeah, that was one of my first jobs. Can you imagine? And then I just got it in my head that the photographer didn't like me very much, and so I might as well just go home. And I jumped on a plane and went home and left everybody in the dark. And as a consequence, the person that I was living with, my agent, just said, "Elle, listen, you can't behave like that." And I learned a lot through that experience. So it wasn't really about Christie and Whitney. It was about what I learned. And what I learned is I need to show up and give it my best and work as a team and keep my private life discreet, which I have done all my life. And, that experience was really the foundation of many of the decisions I made as I matured in life.
But you actually got on Billy Joel's private plane, though. So I would say, like, if Billy Joel...
Well, I've never been on a private plane before.
I think I would say I'm going to get...
It's a good offer.
Yeah, it's a good... But also you lived with him, and then Christie Brinkley came along and you just said, well, I'm just his flatmate.
Well, let's clarify. Robert Stigwood had an apartment on Central Park West. Billy lived on one floor. I lived on the other floor. It was a duplex.
Right.
There might have been some sort of passing of ships in the night, and the next thing I know, he's dating Christie Brinkley.
Oh.
Gets all the luck in the world, that guy. As a private person, was it very hard to write this book? Because you knew that there'd be stories that people wanted to know. How was the process? And did you get people on the phone saying, can you not tell that one?
It wasn't a difficult process because there was purpose in writing the book. The book isn't about my life. It's not a tell-all, a salacious memoir of, event after event, and then I did this, and then I did that, and I did this. That's not what the book was ever intended to be, and it's not what it is.
When I was a kid, when that Tab commercial came out, I remember my dad looking at the TV. And, this is back in the days when you just had one TV in the house, and he was drinking a cup of tea, and it actually just ran all down his chin.
And that could be like another version of the Tab commercial.
That's another version of it.
You'll have to do a tea commercial now.
This is your next thing. Well, we're so pleased because the last time we spoke to you would have been just before you discovered that you had cancer. So we're so pleased that you've come out on the other side of this.
So pleased for your happy result.
Hi to all the family, and you look after yourself, okay?
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you, Elle.
Bye, Elle.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast.
We just had Elle McPherson on.
We did. And Elle in her book would be the first to say, hey, I'm just saying what had happened to me. I'm not trying to influence anyone in their own decision-making. Having said that, she is a wellness influencer. She is. And as broadcasters, I think we also have to be responsible.
Well, I'd say this, read the book, because in that book, she does not say once, this is what you should do. She actually said, this is what worked for me, but don't do it. She pretty much says that. It's like when I buy a house, I never get a building or pest inspection. I've done this. This has always worked for me. I would not in any way or say to you, go and do that, because it's crazy.
Can I say,
that's just the way I am.
If you were, say, Andrew Winter, and you were a person who was well known for real estate savvy, that would carry some weight.
Yes, of course. But I didn't realise, I don't look at Elle McPherson as a wellness influencer. I look at her as, I know she's been anti-vax.
No, she's a wellness, and she would say so. I bought her products.
But this book, I think there's a lot of hysteria about it. It's just a memoir. That's really all it is.
I know, but this is the dilemma here, is that she's saying, this is just what happened to me. But people will look to Elle, she says, make up your own decisions. I think in fairness, as a broadcaster, I would feel more comfortable if we also, I came across this woman, her name is Dr. Liz O'Riordan. She's English. She's a breast cancer doctor. She has suffered, and breast cancer herself has had chemotherapy, radiation, et cetera, et cetera. This is just a snippet of what she has said.
We need to stop putting people like this on a pedestal and saying, oh my goodness, they've done this. She has now got the whole world literally talking about her cancer treatment, the reasons she did it. Everyone is going to be clamoring to buy her book in November. Maybe it's just I'm being cynical. It's a very clever marketing campaign. Her book is all about promoting wellness, and that's fantastic. But she's a businesswoman with a company that sells supplements, one of which she created during her 7 years after treatment. She's not a doctor. She cannot give medical advice.
She said, if the alternative therapies worked, this is what this doctor has said, I would give them to you. Believe me, if they worked and were scientifically proven, I would give them to you. They would be free for you. So yes, make up your own minds, but also listen to your medical team.
Yeah, who were you taking advice from? A medical advice from a doctor or a lady that wore a bikini and sold tab in the 80s?
A wellness influencer, and that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah, of course it's a big deal, but honestly, it's a memoir. It's not a self-help book.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast. That's right. Drivers, start your engine.
All you have to do is tell us who's in our cart. Who's our mystery carter?
You're going to win $1,000 thanks to Eastern Creek Karting. Let's see who's in there. Well, what do you think, Brendan? Should we go over and have a look?
Well, let's get him out there.
Here comes Speed Racer.
Oh, I'm glad to see him in the cart. Look at him go too, he's quick.
Look at him go. You can still hear him through his helmet.
He's doing all right. How do you get the helmet over that earring?
Who would know?
That's why I took the earrings out.
Took your hearing out?
Because of the helmet. There he goes again. Jeez, he's good.
Who is he?
Abby is in Paddington.
Look, despite our inane chatter, there were some clues in there. Abby, any idea who it might be?
Hang on, he's coming past again. Whoa, steady on there, mate.
Any idea, Abby? He drives like he sings.
He's got an earring.
Maybe.
And he's a singer.
Maybe Jimmy Vaughn.
Yes, it is. You were trying to be so oblique in the beginning that you'd have a few clues to get through.
The only thing louder than the cart is Jimmy.
Congratulations, Abby.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you. At Eastern Creek Karting, race just an inch off the ground in their super fast carts and feel like a real race car driver.
We're going to do it again tomorrow. Thanks, Abby. Your chance to win $1,000 then.
Okay. That's all right, Abby.
How many laps is he going to do? I'm going to be casting, watching him.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation
podcast.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
Not long till we give away $20,000 for our favourite ghoulie of the year. What have we got?
Hey guys, what gets my ghoulies is when people complain about cold coffee or cold tea or cold pasta or a cold lunch. There's a microwave in the kitchen 3 meters away. Go and heat it up. That's what really gets my ghoulies.
Oh, a microwave heated cup of tea is never the same.
I can't wait 20 seconds.
What else?
Hey guys, what gets my ghoulies are fast food restaurants. They're called fast food, yet when you go into the drive-thru to order maybe a meal, maybe not even, maybe just a coffee, you get to the second window and they say, could you please park and we'll bring it out to you. So you do what they say. 10 minutes later, they bring it out to you and it's wrong. They've either given you something they're not supposed to or it's just missing items. That's what gets my ghoulies.
You know what I like to do? I say, you've missed my stuff here. You've missed my 3-piece feed. But, sir, we're at McDonald's.
I'll give you that for free.
Doesn't matter there, mate. Go and get it. Hurry up. The customer's always right. Out with the bad, in with the good. If you dipped out, doesn't matter. You can always catch us via the iHeartRadio app. It's 4 to 9.
Our favourite caller email, a Facebook friend, wins a dinner to the value of $300 at Hurricanes Grill.
Ooh.
Circular Quay, Brighton, Pyrmont and Bankstown.
You also get a Jonesy and Amanda tea towel and key ring as well.
Well, there's a bit of a hoo-ha around Iron Maiden's concert in Perth last night.
Yeah.
The crowd went mild, apparently.
Well, instead of playing bangers...
They didn't play that?
No, they played this. Instead of the number of the beast...
They didn't play that.
They played this.
Well, look, maybe Iron Maiden should be aluminium maiden. Tribal Drum was beating for I can't believe they didn't play ... Here's one you might know. Here's Lauren from Avalon.
It's 2002, I'm living in Singapore, and Elton John had come. It was about $300 or $400 a ticket then. We paid a lot of money, and everyone was just pumped. And he came out in a tracksuit, and not even a fancy one, and there's no backup singers, there's nothing. We're thinking, what's going on? And he goes, oh, hey, everybody, I've been at the dentist this afternoon, so I'm feeling a bit chilled. And I'm just feeling like, you know what, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to play on my B-side.
No. All my B-sides.
I like Honky Cat. Oh, that wasn't a B. That was a B-side.
That's one.
Okay.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
Point taken.
Ugly Phil is up next with your chance to win our very last trip for two to the Cook Islands. We're giving it away on Friday.
We'll be back from 6 to 9 for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.